Getting it for the free, so I put my money up. Getting it for the free, so I put my money up.
Get ready for the next double.
Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Wednesday today. We're doing a feedback stream. So you know what that means? If you haven't already, submit your song. If you are a member, submit to the priority form, and I'll go through yours first. So, and if you're not a member, you can join on there, or you can submit for free. So yeah, go on and submit y'all's stuff. Since last stream, I'm not even kidding. Like right after I went to go skateboard, and then I broke my arm. So just bear with me if it takes me a little bit longer to type notes or something, because I only have one hand I can use right now. I might just skip the notes thing entirely, honestly, because it might just take too long. But feedback will still be the same. I still have my brain, my noggin's still good. We can still do normal stuff. I should probably make it a note that I can't type right now. So yeah. Also for those songs, that was the Astaroth song, and then this one, if you guys want to check those out. But yeah, we will get right into it. Excuse me. Okay, first up we have Radamanthus. All right. Yeah, I did, in fact, break my epic little arm. I'm sorry, I'm trying to close this thing. Gosh, so stupid. Okay, let's listen. Damn. It's Flat Fuck Wednesday. I like a lot of the elements so far. I like the percussion mostly. Okay, I'm gonna go through everything as I hear them. I think the drums are probably the best part of all of this. They're nice and like garage. Like this is kind of like garage type stuff. People have been using a lot of rim shots or like percussions. I don't even know what kind of category you would really call that. I think like a rim shot is probably as close as you can get to describing that. But they're not all rim shots. Like it's just kind of like a random perk, you know, percussion thing. But I love these types of sounds. I think they're really cool. If you heard my music before, I also have used a lot of them in mine, and they just sound cool, man. They just sound like really organic, and you can do a lot of cool like accents with them. And I think of like the people like Chi, or like Copycat that do a lot of that stuff, where they have like little ghosts, or like Cohen Sound too. The bass sounds good. This like weird ring mod thing, I think it sounds pretty cool. I think the ring mod could be a little bit higher up because it sounds like it's dissonant. It could be up or down, but like where it's sitting right now, it's like dissonant with the sub, and it sounds kind of weird. So pay attention to how it sounds relative to your sub bass. Because ring mod isn't tied to any harmonic, it's just kind of free floating waves, I guess. And yeah, they're not going to play nicely with anything else you have. But but you have like this A and B thing going on, like a really low rumbly bass, and you have like a choir in the background. It's pretty cool, and it goes to like this rough ring mod bass sound. It sounds cool. I like this mix you're doing. Yeah, this is the one note I had. One negative thing is this like keyboard thing. I don't think fits at all. You try to make it work by like low passing it and dunking in the mix. I think the instrumentality is wrong. Like this is a very synthy sound, and you have a bunch of sounds that are really organic. The only exception is this ring mod thing, but that's really the only tone that you have is like this really raw sounding thing. It doesn't sound completely like synthetic like that ring mod thing. Like it kind of sounds like it could be like something organic, just the way you've like mixed it and processed it. It sounds more like a vintage tape kind of thing. But I think you would have better success if you just had a better instrument, like one that sounded as organic as the other ones, because if when you use a synth, there's no real way to like modulate velocity unless you like painstakingly go in and modulate everything and, you know, set up a bunch of envelopes for hitting the note hard or something. You're just not really going to have that. So having an organic instrument, like some kind of Kontakt library or Labs library, I think would go a long way. There's a lot of free libraries that sound organic and have that kind of like Foley touch to them. Like imagining like hitting like a really old piano. Like it's not just a piano tone that you're getting. It's like all the mechanics in the piano, like the squeaking of the wood, the strings bending and twisting and the tension of it. Like you hear all these other sounds that play along with the piano tone, and those sounds add to it. And if you have a very like Foley environment, having a nice Foley kind of piano, like people put rock. I seen a video of someone like putting a bunch of rocks in their piano, and when they play it, like the rocks vibrate inside, and it makes this really weird, but like Foley sound. But like you can do like crazy stuff like that. Just like add some Foley-ness. You could also have like a guitar or something, like some kind of rustic guitar. Just something that's organic, I feel, and not a synth. And also the writing of it, I think you kind of were careless with the way you wrote it. I don't think you need to do anything fancy. You just need to have some kind of quirky accent, and then they'll be fine. Just like a something that's sinister like that, I guess. But nonetheless, it's pretty good. I like it. So thank you for submitting. Huge dub. How did you break your arm? I was skateboarding and I hit a little tiny stick. And I landed on my arm and yeah, I broke it. I don't know why I skipped all that. Sorry. I like this a lot so far. Oh my gosh. This is gritty. That kick is pretty... eh. The guitar just went completely mono. It's going up. Pitching up is cool. Nice, dude. And you want feedback on everything but mastering, pretty much. Okay. Some of the notes I had. This piano thing is cool. It sounds a little dry. Like you could probably have some cool filter on it. And like the actual writing, or I guess not writing, but the programming of the notes, have the notes delayed a little bit. Like think of like how a human would press on their piano, and think about how when they press a chord, not all the notes are being hit at the same time. Like usually the notes are played at slightly different times, like delay one note, do something like that. Add some flourishes, because it's just like chord, 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 and it makes it sound really poppy. But if you want to sound more organic, then adds tiny little delays like that, and little flourishes where like the hand goes up and down the chords slightly, just a little bit more flavor. The chords are good. Like the chords themselves, they don't feel flat at all, and they progress pretty naturally. This rhythm of this percussive thing was going. It makes me feel like it's gonna be a Skrillex drop kind of thing, or like I don't know how to describe it. I don't know what genre it is, but it's like almost industrial techno, like, and there's like no melodic elements at all. Excuse me. There was a Nina Girachi song that I heard that kind of had a similar vibe. It's like what I'm thinking of. Whoops, that's why. It's like one of her albums. I think it was this one. Yeah, kind of like that. Like you hear how it's like a techno kick, like doo 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 doo. Like ignore the little emoji character in the background making sounds. Something like that I feel like would be really cool here. You guys probably heard the song I'm talking about, where it's like just really deep techno and it has that. You kind of have it here, but you have a lot of melodic things. Honestly, I think you could just do that. And that's kind of far-fetched from what you're going for, but you're going into tear out anyways. So if you have a cool little rumble section like this, I feel like it'd be way easier to blend this rumbly techno, whatever you call it, into tear out. and then you could obviously make a build up that's better. Something like that I think you could do. Like, honestly, it sounds really cool. Okay, so on the actual drop itself, your sound design is, how do I say it? Overly crunchy. It sounds like it's so crunchy you don't really have a tone, and it's not in a good way, because the entire thing is just crunch, and when there's good crunch, the crunch usually it lets other things play out. Like, the crunch is just the entirety of this bass. Like, that's all I hear. Basses that have good crunch, the crunch is in like it's in like certain parts of the bass. Like, if your bass is very percussive, like, the crunchy part's just going to be the start or at the very end. You know, that's where the crunch kind of happens. If you're thinking of a bass that's kind of like a womp bass, like it goes up and then down, kind of like a triangle shape, then the crunchy part is either at the peak of the womp or on the start or the end. It's never the entire thing. So there's something going on here where it's just making the entire thing crunchy, and it's not letting any other element in the bass come out. And I think the best way you can fix that is by adding a low pass on it. So whatever you're using to modulate this bass, it needs to be more obvious. And also there's possibly the problem of it just simply being too crunchy. Like, I feel like you could dial it back a little bit and it would sound pretty good still. And I'd allow you to push it further anyways. Your sub bass is also suffering quite a bit on this because of how much you're crunching it. And I can tell you have OTT on it. I can just hear it. Remember, always OTT will turn down your sub bass. So you need to compensate it in some way by either turning up the low output on the OTT or just boosting it afterwards or something. Don't ever try and do it before OTT. OTT will just smack it right down. That's a big misconception with like EQs and OTT, is people think they can EQ something and then put OTT after. Never ever do that, because OTT is just going to force it back into its shape. If you want to boost your low end on a bass and then you put OTT afterwards, OTT is going to destroy whatever you did. Like, that's just how it works. So generally speaking, when you EQ, have OTT before your EQ, unless you have like enough effects and like distortion and stuff to where like the stuff you put in for the EQ it's already like processed and then it's going with OTT again. Like, that makes sense, but it can't just be filter OTT, because it's not going to do anything. At least for like really broad changes, if you're just dipping or boosting the mids, highs, or lows, like, that's not going to do anything. But if you have like really tiny boosts or dips, then okay, sure, that you can get away with it, I guess. But it still wouldn't make much of a difference if you pull it OTT before anyways. I like the snare you have here. Your snare's nice and slappy. Smack your face. Your kick is weird. I think your kick is too punchy. Like, your kick should sound more low end E. What I mean by punchy is like there's a lot of that punch in like the low mid. So it's like it's not exactly at like sub level, but the punchiness part is between like 150 to 300 hertz. That's like where all that punching, I don't know what else you say about that. Like, it's just the punchy part. It's too punchy. None of your other basses have anything like that. It doesn't need to be punchy. Like, you just have kind of like a more rumbly, thumpy kick, and it would still sound really good. You don't have really anything competing with it. My comment about this kick just also sounds like it doesn't really fit. Like, I would want a kick that sounds more acoustic in some way. Because I can just hear, like, I can hear the fact that's a sine wave pitching down. So just something that's more natural sounding would do better. But that's all the feedback I have for you. Thank you, Arcstar, for submitting. Espen. All right. Ah, gosh. Oh, it's spooky. Oh, it's this one.
I see within you the silent temper, the undying urge.
Okay. Let's hear it.
Let it out.
This scream is really cool. Nice. That's sick. Ooh. Damn. That's sick. Slappy snare yet again. Good stuff, man. As far as notes go, or like feedback, I think you have a really strong foundation on this. Drums sound really good. You're mixing. It sounds pleasant. But the things I think still need improvement is I can't exactly remember what I said last week, but the basses sound like they aren't like in my face. Like they all sound like they're background elements. You know what I mean? It's like I can hear some things that sound like they're supposed to be like in the foreground, but they're not. They're like sitting in the background. So it could just be like a gain stage thing, like you're a gaining problem. You could just maybe boost up those basses, just turning them up straight up. It sounds like your bass is just quiet. Like I can hear a lot of sub, which is good. But now your like actual bass tones are just quiet now. Either that or they're just like too pushed back with like reverb or chorus or something. Like right here, they like sound so pushed back. And it's like an idea of something that's supposed to be there, and I can't tell what it is. So bring your basses forward more. I think that's like literally it. If you can make them more like give them more body, like mid information, then it'll sound great, and then you can release it. That part here was just like a clap. Yeah, this part here would be pretty cool if like the basses were more, brought up. That's like literally it, I think. But so far, like everything sounds good. I think the drops could be cut down a little bit. Like they sound like they're both 32 bar drops. Like there has to be some kind of pause, You just danced for like a minute straight on the first drop. When is this actually? 124. Yeah, so like straight up like a minute to 2 minute 30 seconds. You gotta have some kind of break because people are gonna get tired. So in the middle, like add a little bridge section. Add a bridge that's like more chill. It's like letting people catch their breath, and then you go right back into it. So just a little bridge would help. Also be better for flow. But yeah, thank you for submitting, Espen. Very big stuff. Plate to send out DJs. Hopefully you get played out, bro. All right, next up. Final Howl. Ooh. Fucking chair. That sounds sick. Final howl. Also, what in the world is this image? Somebody's goatee, probably. Okay, I like this a lot. Not much to really say about this, just some minor, very, very minor things. Vampire's Eye. Oh, I can see it now. There's some minor things. Your snare sounds like it's low passed. I think it just needs a little bit of high end. Just a little bit, not much. But when I say high end, like needs more highs, I mean like 5K up, like, or maybe 10K up. But it just sounds like it's rounded off, like it has some kind of anti-aliasing thing happening. And this one bass that is like a sustain, it sounds like a vacuum cleaner, man. I don't know how else to put it. But it's just straight up like there's no movement, and it just like it pitches up, it goes like it sounds like my vacuum turning on. You know, it's like it's turned on, it's like not really clean anything yet. It's on the hardwood floor, maybe. It needs to sound grittier, or like more intense, because it sounds low intensity. It could, maybe you just need to pitch it up or something. Like pitch it up higher and then distort it more or something. Find some kind of creative solution. Like it's just not high energy kind of sustain thing. Might just be that it's like there's not enough high end in it too. So you just have a high end problem in general, I guess. But your arrangement sounds good. Your sound design sounds good for the most part. Mixing is good, decent. Your snare just needs some high end, and that's pretty much it. But yeah, thank you for submitting, Mecha Wolf. I know this is the song you sent last time, and with all the notes I've given, I think it's pretty good right now. Gotta make more, brother. Okay. The skip of doom. I mean, I already know what it's gonna be. It's fine.
Your fate is decided.
Ooh. Damn, dude. Ooh. I like that one. Reddit people love this. Long pauses. Ugh. You're nasty, bro. You're just nasty and filthy, man. Like, ugh. Ugh. Bro, don't make Rhythm too good now, because I might start listening to it. Yeah, really good stuff, man. Jeez. You're just like... just killing it. I'm sure you're on that like website called Playlist or whatever it's called. Everybody's like on that. A lot of my friends joined it. I'm like, hey, what's this about? Like, yeah, just make some money, you know, and just, you know, make some money making plates. Dude, if you're on that, like, cash in immediately. Jeez. If you get enough releases out, like if you start planning releases, say like every month minimum, you're gonna grow an audience really quick, and then it can start reaching out to like bigger artists. Like if you can back your brand with numbers of like plays and or like plates. I think people care about plates too. So if you get like a lot of plate sales, it might grab the attention of bigger artists, and those artists are gonna have your attention, or you're gonna get their attention anyways. Because if you know people start buying it and playing at shows, you know that's just easy publicity right there. But like you're at the point where you're growing an audience and you're like getting a lot of attention, and so you can start reaching out to more and more people. Like, hey, you want to work on something together? Get some promoters on you and start playing shows. So, dude, like seriously, start going that direction. You're gonna get a good show going, and then you're gonna be able to book shows by yourself, no more back-to-backs, and then you know all you can do is really grow from there. And that's up to you, like what you want your career to be. But you're on the path, bro. The one comment I had for this, the one feedback I had was on the clap. Your clap sounds like it's clipping kind of too hard with your kick. So that is, it's not the end of the world. It can end up, excuse me, it can make your drums sound really stompy. But I recommend you get a transient shaper on your clap, and instead of like turning up or down the clap, turn down just the transient part. So transient shaper is going to take care of that. Just turn the transient down on the clap on whatever transient shaper you're using, and it'll make it more splashy and not so like clipped sounding, if that makes sense. So it's gonna let the punch of your kick and the transient of your kick come through more, and then it's still gonna have the splashy kind of reverb tail that you want, just at the same volume. So try that. It might be a good solution to make it sound a bit more pleasing and not so like overly clipped. But holy man, great mixing, great mastering, great sound design. Again, it's rhythm. So as long as you're making good rhythm, I think that's all I really need to worry about, man. So yeah, thank you for submitting, bro. Big ups. And I think that's all of the paid responses so far. So I went through all of them pretty quick. It's only 45 minutes into the stream. But we will go on to our free submissions now. So if you still haven't submitted, now's your time, because it's just going down the queue from now. Okay, we've got Kaizel. Kaizel's the first to submit to the free feedback. The poor, the peasant queue. Dude, whenever I think about that, I just think of like if you've been to a theme park, there's people who get the fast pass, and I just see so many memes about like just insulting everybody who's not in the fast pass. Like these people walking through and they skip like hundreds of people walking through, and there's just like an audio like, I don't talk to peasants. Get your dirty arm away from the fast pass lane. It's just unbelievable. And I know people who would act like that if they got the fast pass too. All right, Kaizel, it's your time to shine. I don't know what this means, but it's something bad, I think. Trackmania! Trackmania mentioned. Dr. Brook boys. That's right. Is that what it says? Trackmania and Skate. I love both those games. Ooh. Wait. Woo. Just a rhythm bass at the end, you know. Can't blame you. Brother. Ugh. You got me where I'm the weakest at. I love Foley stuff. If you couldn't tell from me talking about it earlier, like I love Foley stuff. I love whenever there's like clicky sounds or like just rubbish gear, you know, gears like clicking or metallic sounds. Like metallic sounds, I love them. You just like hit all the nice little spots I like a lot. So with your style of like music, this is like hybrid trap, I guess. With your style of music, I really like the approach that you're going for, and kind of like this Foley sound thing. I think you need to balance your sounds a little bit better though, because everything in this song is really low end dense, and then like the high end, you don't have anything going on the high end. It's like you have real estate up there, man. If you can find any like high end, it doesn't have to be noise necessarily, but like some kind of high end like ambient thing that you can make fit rhythmically with what you're doing. That's why hi-hats are so commonly used, because it's so easy to just plop them down. With this, you're going to be a bit more like unique in how you approach like adding high-end instruments, because it's kind of like going into your vibe if you add like regular drum machine hi-hats. So you have to think about, oh well, you know, can I have some kind of other high-end Foley thing? My proposal is look up like sample belly dancing, like belly dancing sounds. You know, like people they put like a bunch of metal on their hips. Like women just put a bunch of metal on their hips and they do like a loop. They dance. It's like a belly dance. And so like it just has this shaking sound. So it sounds like organic, but it's like rhythmically tied to something. Try something like that where it sounds like complementary to your style. You just need something in the high end to balance it out, because you just have too much stuff in the low end, man. It's like your kick has no high end. Your bass doesn't have any high end. Like your bass, I think barely actually does have high end. It's like some noise. That's really it. Your snare or your rim shot doesn't have high end. It's like mostly in the mids. You have this like almost machine gun bass sound, and there's just a little bit of high end there, but it's not enough. Like, it's not filling the space. And the best thing you have are these like high end grainy sounds. Also, dude, test a granulizer. Find a granulizer that is fun, and you could just plop anything in there. Like, if you go to Home Depot or something, just go wild sampling like metallic sounds, put that in the granulizer, and then you can automate like how many grains there are, so it sounds like an organic kind of hi-hat. You can make your own belly dance there. Or, you know, like you could buy a bunch of scraps of metal and, you know, tie it around your waist and do your own belly dance. I think that works too, probably. I don't know. I never tried that. I just have the image in my mind of someone like DJing, and they have like they start belly dancing to the song they made. Like, woo, 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 woo. But like, I can imagine in this part, like the high end of a belly dance sound. It's like shh, shh, shh. I know it sound good. So that's really my main feedback, is balance your sounds out a better, because your low end is too dominant. And you don't have enough space in the high end. So yeah, there you go, bro. There's your feedback. Also on this part, I like this part. This is cool. It sounds very like folk. It makes it feel like a medieval feeling. Like medieval, and then like a war chant. Anyways, yeah, thank you for submitting, Kaisel. Good stuff. You win. Music official. Go and tell your parents that you won. All right, next up we have Zomtech. Ooh, Scowy. Moonboy successor. Oh. Fucking Plinko machine. Arium. Like this. Very sick. Very sick. Is that all? Okay. Dude. That superseded my expectations. Okay, notes on this song. Sound design, good. Your sound design sounds unique. Your sound design sounds unique. It sounds like it's correlated with the sub bass. So you did something clever in your sound design where it just sounds like it fits. And The way I can usually tell it's good sound design is when it doesn't sound overly distorted. This sounds like it's clean, but also connected to the sub bass. So props for that. You did something clever in your sound design. I think your arrangement's pretty good. It's not really like anything groundbreaking per se, but it's just enough, you know, for it to be like a good listenable song. And you have some cool, unique sounds like this like wangy sound. This is really cool too. That's where I said it's like a Plinko machine. Place your bets now. Where I'm gonna start knocking off points is the sub bass. Your sub bass is too muddy. Yeah. Your sub bass sounds like you distorted it and then low passed it or something. So like, what's up with that, man? What you doing? So the reason why I don't like sub basses that sound like this is because they sound really amateurish. You guys have probably heard me talk about sub basses and their harmonics and how they will almost always have like a mathematical ratio with distorting it. So like if you get a regular soft curve distortion saturation on like a plain sine wave, your harmonics will always be relative to the harmonic below it. So like your third harmonic will be, I'll just say like 50% of the loudness of your first harmonic, and then the fifth harmonic will be 50% of that one, and then so on, so on, so on. And that's how you get like an exponential curve, or I guess more like, it's like logarithmic, I guess. That's where you get the kind of like formula where it sounds like it's distorted, and you always get some kind of ratio like that. Even like 70% for each harmonic down, you will get some kind of ratio where it will just trickle down constantly, and it sounds amateur for that sub because it sounds just overly distorted, like you're putting too much distortion on it, and it's also taking away the clarity of the sub. Whenever you have those low harmonics, like the third and the fifth, it starts overpowering the low end, like the actual sub part, the part that is the sub bass. Because once it goes like above 100 hertz, then it's no longer sub bass; it's just bass. Like that range, 100 to 200 hertz, is just bass. That's just factual, and then it becomes a sub bass when it's like below, when you feel like the ground's shaking. Like that's what that is. You want your sub bass to be strong because that's what gives your song the most weight. So simply put, just let your sub bass be more clear. It's okay to put distortion on it. Just make sure you're prioritizing the first harmonic always, and it sounds more professional when it's not overly distorted. So your main bass doesn't sound too distorted, but it sounds like your main sub bass is like separate. I can just kind of tell by the way it's made and the way it sounds. It's just that you're distorting it. Like if you just take away distortion, then it'll sound good. Like we're all happy. So mix it back. The other thing is your drums sound really dull. They have good punch in like the low end and all that, sure. But they don't sound crispy. And it doesn't make sense because your snare, you're so used to snares having a lot of high end because naturally that's how snares are. Like you'll never hear a snare in real life that sounds dulled and muffled unless you're like in a separate room. So they should always be kind of high and crispy to a certain degree. And this snare it just sounds really dull. Like the transient isn't coming through all the way. But if you ever listen to a snare in real life or like a raw recording of the snare, the transient is the most loud part, like by a mile. Like everything you hear after the snare is just momentously, I don't even know if it's a word, it's just insanely quieter than the transient. So the transient should be the loudest part of your snare usually, or at least the most brightest part, the most high end, because that's what makes it snappy, right? Your kick, you can get away with your kick a little bit. It's generally the same kind of thing as your snare. Like the transient's usually the loudest part, but it's not so much needed anymore. And plus, recordings of kicks now, they just have like a softer mallet, like the actual drum part of the mallet hits the thing, and you know that's how to get like a soft sound. But you're making dubstep, man. You want your drums to be nice and punchy and crispy. But still, I think the worst offender is a snare. I think the kick, you could get away with having it be this kind of dull. It's kind of up to you, but like a snare, I want to be snappy. Yeah, again, that's really it. I think your cymbals could be a bit better too. They sound kind of just quiet. Like you aren't proud that they're cymbals. You're like, get in the fucking back, bitch. And they're just like really quiet. They're not really doing much. It's like, bro, be proud of your cymbals, man. Make them louder, make them splashier. Come on, it's cool. Cymbals are what make your song nice and energetic. It's like just free high end. You want free energy? There you go, add cymbals. Anyways, that's all the pick I have for you. So thank you, Zomtech, for submitting. Good stuff all around. Hope that helps. We got Turbo Drive. That's the name I haven't seen in a little bit. Yeah, it's you. Good job, Zomboy. Ooh. Dude, that's the snare clap thing. Ow. Bro, this is what you hear when you get the star power up in Mario Kart. Goodness, man.
Okay, give it your best shot.
Oh boy. Goodness. This part's cool. Nice little piano guy. Good job, Zomboy. Okay, in all seriousness, the production of this, like the writing, is good. You have good writing skills. Just that I can tell it's like more like a natural talent thing because your writing skills are better than your mixing and your mastering skills. Sound design, you know, you kind of learn on the way, just naturally, but most of the time when I hear EDM producers, it's the opposite. Like people just, they get really good at mastering, side chaining, mixing, all this other like auxiliary things to make music. But they're never actually good at making the track or like writing down a melody or something. Hell, a lot of dubstep producers don't even know how to write melodies, or they don't even know anything good. I don't realize too good, but they don't know anything any relative to music theory. Like most of the artists I know only know like major and minor scales. And if you ask them to name like a scale like A minor, they're probably they wouldn't know. They just wouldn't. So if you are already good at like writing and putting together a track, you've gotten the hard part out of the way. And now you just need to focus on like just mixing, mastering kind of stuff, just like the stuff that's more technical and more like a science. It's like, okay, well, if I have, you know, my bass 10 decibels over my kick, you know, that's might be a problem, so I'll take care of that. So the easy part is what you need to learn. So you're just gonna breeze through it, bro. This guy probably had piano lessons or something. I would be willing to bet a little bit more than that, but good creative writing. It's just, yeah, you just ask for mixing, really. You said drums are not hitting as much as I want them to, so we'll go into the drums. Oh yeah, the reason why I turn this down a little bit is because that clap rim shot thing is really, really harsh. The way you're mastering this is really loud, and it's not too loud, like it's not overly distorted or anything, but it's just above the threshold of what I would tolerate. The clap thing is just too distorted, simply put. In the frequencies that hurt my ears is where you need to tone it down. Like that's just too aggressive. And honestly, I don't think your drums are that drowned out. Like especially this part, I can feel the drums. I can hear them. I think the problem with this one is just you have too much reverb on this clap rim thing. Just turn on the reverb or the tail of it. If it's baked into the sample, just fade out the sample more. I don't know. I don't think it's anything a transient shaper couldn't fix. Like if you think it's really like that not hitting hard, your main options are just get a different sample or get a transient shaper and just boost the transient up. Like those things just simply make your drums hit harder. Yeah, also boosting the sidechain, making the sidechain more aggressive. That can also work. It's just kind of easy to overdo it. Another thing you can do is, since this song is really bright and high end heavy, your drums can easily fall behind. So you could also just boost the high end of the drums, like your snare, your kick drum. Just simply boost the high end to kind of match the level of the high end you have in your song, and that can also help too. And for the kick, that basically is the transient booster on the kick. But as far as mixing goes, I don't hear too much wrong with this. Just be really careful with the high end. I think you're kind of overdoing the high end a bit. Like, take a second, get a song you like a color-based song. Make sure they're like reliable, you know, like Nasco, Skybreak, Virtual Riot. Take a reference from them, put it into your DAW, listen to what they have, of course, with none of the master chains on it or anything. Yeah, put it on there and then reference, and I think you'll probably notice that your high end is a lot higher than their high end. But yeah, thank you for submitting, bro. Basty, what's up, bro? Bro, I see you on ads now. You're getting the months. Nasco mentioned. Bro, dead ass. I'm gonna start making plug data patches. Like, I just kind of realized the potential they have. I made a really, really nice snare generator with just Patcher. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this is really good. If I could put this in Patcher, or not Patcher, plug data, and you know, it'd be available for all DAWs, and you have the same range of motion, this would be crazy. Like, I could literally just you know, put this out there as like a pack, like a drum pack, and like kick, snare, hi-hat, stuff like that, and it would be great. No one else has like a generator for plug data. Lunacy Audio, dude. Yeah, the ads looked really convincing. I was like, damn. Knock 3. Add pan snare. I just realized my microphone is like set really high. Bro, has my microphone been insanely loud this entire time? I just realized it was turned all the way up. I don't know what I did. I think I like yelled at someone. Well, I turned it down now, so it's at like a more normal volume. I just like realized me like moving my fingers was enough to trip the gate. I was like, that's weird. Okay. This, dude, this is way too fucking much. Like, jeez, man. It is just a wall of noise up there, and it just kind of hurts my ears, man. Like by contrast, when you add low end instruments in there, like everything kind of balances out. But I'm willing to bet you have some limiter on your chain, and whenever the low end isn't there, the most dominant frequency, it ducks out and then it just fucking boosts up all the high end into my ears and makes me deaf. For this purpose, man, you need to take your bass and have it in a group. Like have a entire synth group of everything synth related, have it in a bus, and then process it so it doesn't have these really loud spikes. So that way your master doesn't have to do so much and doesn't have, you know, death noises like this. And you just have a basic compressor that does all that work for you. It should never get to the point where when the bass is cut out in your song, that it just fucking hurts your ears like this. Okay, and so on the actual drop doesn't sound that bad. This intro. I think it sounds like it could be a bit better on here. It sounds pretty close to like the Knock 2 sound. It's just like it sounds awkward. Like it doesn't sound like it's playing how it should. Like it sounds like it's ducking. Like it has some like separate sidechain on there. I don't know. It sounds like some weird envelope is put on that synth and it's making it sound weird and inconsistent. Also, the most obvious thing you can hear is just the abundance of reverb you have. You have so much reverb on this track. That reverb is way too loud. The way Knock 2 does it, or a lot of people do this, they use reverb throws. So they put their bass into another bus, like a separate bus that's processed in parallel. So it means the two buses are playing at the same time. But the one bus is a reverb bus, and it's just really long reverb. And it's like high pass or whatever, so it's not like clashing with the frequencies. But they'll volume automate that reverb. So at the very end of the chain, they'll just have some volume automation, and they will automate up and down. So for most of the song or the drop, it'll be a really dry bass, and then in the gaps, they'll add a little automation clip that turns up the volume of the reverb channel. And that's where that term of like a reverb throw comes from. That's like a really popular technique everybody uses now, are reverb throws. So try something like that, and that can be a good balance between having a nice dry signal and then adding room when you want room. The other alternative that people used to do is they would put really tiny reverb on their bass. And it would be like at 2% or something, like something ridiculous. And then after that, they would add a limiter that was at a really, really low threshold. And they on the limiter, it would be a really long release and or attack if the thing has an attack. But the principle was that when the bass is playing, it's gonna duck the signal so much that the reverb you can't hear at all. And once the bass is done, then slowly, as the limiter releases its compression with the release, like if you set the release to like 100 milliseconds, it'll take 100 milliseconds for the reverb to come back. So that means it's basically ducking the reverb. So that's a technique people did back then. We just have better ways to do it now, and we can use automation tools to duck the reverb. But that's basically what you're doing, is you're like ducking the reverb or like putting it in when you want the reverb to be present. So think of it like that. That's just how everybody does it. Just a more sophisticated way. I don't know why I just had a brain fart there. So I think it's like your biggest sin in this song is just too much reverb. It also sounds like you're just cutting the mids like crazy, scooping all that shit out. I don't know if you're doing this on the master, but it sounds like it. It sounds like you just took a big old chunk, like you took a bite of a cookie, man. Took a big old chunk out of the mids on the master. Don't do that on the master, obviously. If you have, then just undo that. If you want the mids to be scooped, do it on the bass channel only, because otherwise it's going to affect your drums. And also, I kind of advise against scooping out mids a lot anyways, because the mids are what bridge the low end and the high end, and it makes things sound gritty and full. Like the body is the mids. So if you mess with the mids too much, it's just not gonna feel like as attention grabbing or like in your face, if that makes sense. I think writing isn't that bad. It just needs more diversity in your sounds. You have like this lead thing going on, but nothing else. You don't have any other bass sounds or womps. I'm pretty sure Knock 2 is like the guy who he swaps out bass all the time, like womp bass, rhythm bass, oh, drum bass, bass, and then dubstep, and then we're gonna go back to our electro sound. So you need to have more bass preset things here. Oh, also, if you want to get closer to his sound, layer a snare over your kick clap. I know it sounds kind of weird at first, but if you high pass it a little bit and add a snare over, it'll sound more like a Knock 2 style. Trust me. Anyways, moving on. Thank you for submitting. We have Anani MVs. Or Anonymous. Gosh, the V's always get me. Oh, well, would you look at that? Well, if you're seeing this, bro, make sure you hit the share button. You need to hit the share button on your track where it says share or copy link. Use that link and not the URL, please. Thank you. I'm deleting that response. I'm deleting that submission. Get out of here, man. Anonymous. Dude, the way it appeared on my screen, like I thought, I didn't even realize it was anonymous. Don't make fun of me. Don't make fun of me, you peasants. You know, I could have made my name Agony with a V, and you think you guys would pronounce it? It would be Vaginy. That's how you guys would probably pronounce it. Vaginy. Like, honestly, bro. Was he right, though? Did you cut out mids? What, am I right? Hold on. Fact check. Fact check from Mazu. The B, basically, the B would be a 3. You're obviously a noob in this. The B would be a 3 and the T would be a 7. You're pretty good at calling it. I hope so, man. I've only been doing music for 10 years. Or actually, I think it's 11 now. Yeah, it's 11 years. Fuck. Dude. Fuck, man. Yo, did you submit your thing yet? Bro. I'm gonna play this, okay? I'm gonna play this and then you can That's right, I didn't mean to scare you, bro. I'm gonna play this and then we'll get to yours, okay? Oh yeah, I forgot to say who this is. Heirlooms. Heirlooms is your song. Why are you saying your own name, bro? Did I say it wrong or something? A super pretty track, by the way. Okay. Okay. You're sucking me out, like, for real. Yes, Arkstar, I did do yours. It should be on YouTube as well if you want to look back on it. I like the progression. Yeah, that progression goes hard, bro. You can make a whole motif just out of that chord progression right there. Dude. Very nice strings, by the way. Very nice. Very, very nice. Okay, I had a few notes, but, you know, since I can't write, it's kind of hard for me to remember. So give me a second. Oh, okay. This lead sounds outdated. Like, I don't think people really fuck with these kinds of leads anymore. where it sounds like almost 8-bit. This sounds like it was made in the 2010s or something. You guys remember like the old Hello World Porter Robinson kind of style? That's what this sounds like. It sounds like it's from that era of music. But we've kind of progressed a bit further back than that. Look at your bio. What is this? Is this Undercover Boss? Oh, okay. Yeah, you're just going back to 2016. Okay. Well, I mean, I still don't like it, but if you're going for that style, I guess it's fine, bro. Maybe try to touch up on it a little bit. I just think it sounds too whistly. And remember how it's gonna play in context with your vocalist. Your vocals are going to be kind of sitting in the mid range. And I don't know if they're gonna be playing the same melody as this, or it's gonna be harmonizing on this this lead thing. But having a lead that's more stable and the reason why I say it's like whistly is because the dominant frequency in that lead is not on the fundamental, so it's going to sound, it's not going to sound like it's harmonizing that well. You know, it's kind of like you saying like ooh versus ah. Like an ah is, the formant is a lot higher, and then the frequencies that are more present are the higher harmonics, whereas like an ooh, the fundamental harmonic is there, so it harmonizes easier and sounds warmer too. So if your lead is more whistly, it could be because you have a lot of octave stacks on it. It can also sometimes be the shape of the waveform, so you could mess with the shape of the waveform, have something that is more harmonically like dense on the fundamental. Not saying like get a sine wave or something, but something that's not so noisy sounding, I guess. But play around with it. I really think you should get away from the whistliness still. Even you can still have the vibe, just less whistly. And there was some other things too. Okay, your snare / clap thing is so drowned out, bro. You need to turn that shit up. How's your arrangement? I think this from the floor thing here is kind of unneeded. Because you go from like a bridge to 4/4, and it goes on strings. Like it's not really serving a purpose. It's just kind of there. You have like this thing where you have your drops here, your two main drops, and then this, I don't even know what you would consider this. Like it sounds like a mini chorus. This mini chorus, you should make it a little bit more different sounding because it's still using the same exact progression. And that can simply be up to what the top note is in your chords. You could also pitch your chords around. Like you don't have to do much. You could just invert them or whatever. Just make it sound kind of different. Yes, like voice changing. Inverting them is the easier way to go about it. Like the little bells you have are really cool too. I like those. This is more like a broad thing. But a big mistake people use when they make something melodic is they or they do, is they will just reuse the same progression throughout the entire song. Really try to avoid that. You did a good job with this intro. Like his intro, you have this drone bass, and it sounds cool and refreshing. And then in this section, like, it sounds fresh. But from the start of this drop to the end, like, you're still reusing the same progression. You should break it up at some point. Like, it would give you a good excuse to get into a different section. I'm just gonna set. Yeah, just your snare, just turn it up. That's pretty much it. Yeah, you struggle with that? I do too. It's just kind of like a difficult thing to make fit. Anyways, thank you for submitting. Very nice song. Very epic. The best thing you can do, man, for inspiration, just listen to other people's songs and see what they do to break up a chord progression. I wish I could, like, remember the name of the songs that you should check out, but there's always inspiration out there. All right, next up, we have Anani MVs. Anani MVs, right? I'm just kidding. My fucking. Okay, there we go. Sure. I'm joking. Sick. Got a minute of silence. That's how you really get people interested in your song. Did you break your arm, man? I was skateboarding and hit a little stick. I'm just kidding. I jumped the Eiffel Tower. Yeah, man. Holy distortion, bro. You think Ludacris would play this at the back of his little van? No, the sidechain isn't too long. It's just the bass is really delayed sounding. Sidechain of Tokyo Drift. Yeah. Akira F Your Life. I do not know that song, so. We're using the stock FL Studio drums in this. Oh, shit! Fucking hell, man. Rhythm. That was not intentional. Maybe. Okay, feedback. Feedback time! Yay! I think this intro is, it's okay. Just the progression where it's just a half step going up and down the entire time. I'm personally just annoyed with that. Like, I don't want to hear ma the entire time. You know what I mean? Like, it's not hating on you or anything, bro. It's just like it's such a overused thing. Now it's like people just discovered the Phrygian scale and they're just using it all the time. It's just annoying. Like, it might just be me because I heard it so many times. And, you know, I hear it when I make my own music now and I just feel fed up with it. So get other opinions on that if it's annoying or whatever. I hit my desk so hard it just played by itself. Don't say I don't abuse you, because I do. Anyways, that little pluck thing you got going on, make that more interesting. Or like, actually I don't mean that. Make it more prominent. I like how interesting it is. That little whatever it fucking does. Dun dun dun. That thing, that's cool. I like that. Make it more prominent, add more delay to it or the feedback of it. It's cool. It's like that's like the only thing you can make sound unique in this rhythm. These drums. Holy FL Studio moment. These drums do not sound like they fit at all. I'm willing to bet that you are using FL, right? Like, are you gonna flame me for being wrong about that? It might just be FL Studio drums, bro. And yeah, it is. So it kind of sucks because the stock FL Studio drums they have, they are important drums, but just not for trap. The kicks are kind of okay, honestly, because I mean you can't really make a kick sound that bad. Like, it only sounds so shit. But for trap snares, it's not usually just like a 909 snare, right? It's usually like a 909 snare layered with a clap of some sort. And specific drums that like trap producers use are like the Lex Luger kit. So just find like a free download of Lex Luger drums, and there you go. You got like basically all of rap production right there at the palm of your hand. Oh, excuse me. Can I draw something, my friend? Yes, I have a actual submission form for free patrons, so just join as a free member and then submit on the free form. Yeah, so just get like a kit from Lex Luger, and then you pretty much got all of dubstep. Even funk stuff is pretty close, but dude, all the funk packs are terrible though. If you find a funk pack, you might just be unlucky because they distort the crap out of their drums, and it's annoying. It's like they could have some cool sounds if it wasn't fucking distorted to shit. Literally though. Okay, so it's rhythm, right? Rhythm's cool, I think. You should tease the rhythm bass because it just goes from rap beat to just fucking rhythm immediately. Like, tease the bass a little bit. Make a filtered bass that's like in the build up in some way. Also, this bass sounds really mono. If there's some way you can add some width, go for it. Another thing too, this is so crazy. Your bass is so distorted, and I'm pretty sure it's because of the master. Your master's probably fucking clipping like 20 decibels, bro. You need to turn on this master like immediately. It's really not good. Like, bro, your kick sounds like it just sounds like a little, I don't even know. It just sounds like a broken speaker, bro. and your bass is so fucking blown out. I can't even hear like anything. It's just overblown. So that's like fix number 1. Turn down your fucking master, please. And let your bass have some room. If you want a crunchy bass, bro, everybody likes a crunchy bass, okay? Everybody likes to add a little bit of crunch on their sandwich, you know, a little bit of crunch in their salad. And something cool, but at a certain point it's too much, you know. You don't want an entire sandwich of just crunch, because what's the point of having a sandwich at that point? You gotta add it tastefully, man. Add a bass bus. I say this all the time. I'm gonna go crazy. Add your own bus, like a bass bus that you can route things to, and then we'll get processed. And then in that bass bus, it'll get the distortion that you want. Just add your little distortion on there, add some bias, boom, you got instant crunch on your bass. And what do you do with that bus? You put it into the sidechain, and then you have proper sidechain on it. And then what do you have now? You have a nice little crunchy bass without distorted fucking drums that sound like a broken speaker. Do that method, please. Y'all, please use buses from now on. Like, take the oath, man, that you'll use buses for the rest of your life. Thank you. All right. In other news, it's Rhythm. You need to break up the monotony of this, bro. This is, how long is this? 140. So it's almost a whole minute of just the bass note playing quarter notes the entire time. And to your credit, you add some variation with the bass going from womp womp to whap whap. Okay, so we're getting somewhere, but you need to break it up more. So at the end of like, at whatever, honestly, whatever, like it could be 8 bars, it could be 4 bars, it could be even 2 bars, bro. But in every section, you need to have some way of breaking it up. Like you have this little pluck thing, right? You have this little pluck motif thing. You could just sprinkle that in at the end of a phrase. That's what it's called. It's like phrasing. Like every 2 bars, like you have a phrase, like wah 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 wah. Like that's what a phrase is. You can sprinkle it in, and you know, break up the monotony of it. You do a little bit, but bro, it's just not enough. Like I don't want to hear a sub bass the entire time, you know. Like add some little sprinkles, you know. You don't have to have the sub bass on at all times. And it goes back to this rap beat. Also, another key example of why it's so distorted. I can hear your fucking pads distort when just the kick plays. Like that shouldn't be happening. But pay attention really closely. You'll hear little fireflies in the left and right of your ear, little scratchy, noisy sounds. Okay, pay attention to that. You hear that like static noise firefly sound in your ears? Yeah, that's not good, because it means that your sub bass is so loud and your master ceiling is so insanely low to where any sound at all is just clipping. And it's not just clipping or saturating, it is hard clipping. So that means it's going up normally, and then there's just like a guillotine. It's just like guillotine, where if anything goes even a little bit higher than that, it's just getting hard clipped and it's making really high frequencies. So don't hard clip it either. And also just turn it down. If you want that crunchy hard clip sound, put it on just your bass, man. And last note, your clap, the transient is a little too loud. So it's just kind of too loud. So just get like a transient shaper on it, turn the transient down, and boom, you're done. But please, just turn the entire thing down, dude. You don't need it to be clipping. Use buses more. Buses are cool. Buses is what the hip kids use now. All right. Back to our regularly scheduled program, bro. Please paste, man. I'm so tired. Reggirelli. We got Rubinico. Rubinico? I was not expecting that. And you're welcome. Dude. Is it really necessary to add a water droplet sound in this? Why? Can you explain me why you've added a water droplet sound? Why'd you add water? Yes, I'm a troon. I have. What does that even mean? What? It's the most out of place sound I've ever heard. The most fucking synthetic bass, and you're just like, whoop. Ugh, dude, it like freaks me out kind of too. I don't know why. It's awesome, bro. Why is it? It freaks me out, man. I don't like that water droplet sound. If it just makes you feel uncomfortable. Okay. This intro, when I first played it, like the first 5 seconds, I thought you were like doing some kind of like Arabic Egyptian theme. Like I thought I was gonna like go into some I don't know. I don't know. Like, bro, did that not sound like something Arabic? Like, dude, you totally got me. Like, that was a gotcha right there. Okay. Your actual bass, I don't mind it. I feel like it's really crunchy, but it's just not impactful enough to be by itself. So you're kind of needed to add more elements on this, whether that be like super saws, whatever, leads and all that. Also, your sub is like fading in and out. I don't know what's going on with that. You can't. Why can't you make your bass, like your sub bass, match that dotted vocal thing? The e. Just get a clean sub bass, bro, and put it over that. I think it's okay. It just sounds really, really minimal. Like you don't have that much going on in here, so I can't judge it too much. You think that's bad? I accidentally left my sub in stereo beforehand. I don't know. Why would you have it in stereo? Just have one sub, one sine wave voice, add a little bit of saturation to it, and then you're good. If you're going for a style that's really like bright and aggressive, like these drums would fit. But if you're going for a style like this where it's more chill and low key, grab drums that are less intense because these drums, they are really bright. They have really defined transients, really bright, aggressive transients too, like really long. And you have a lot of reverb on it, and your snare is just really aggressive. Switch your drums out if you're going for a more chill style. I just watched my feedback and you got that right. There's multi-band compressor on the Serum Effects after distortion, so should I take that out? Yes. Yes, you should. Or at least rearrange it. Find a better rearrangement that sounds better. That happens quite a bit where just rearranging your effects can do a lot. Whoa, okay. Huge mistake there, buddy. Usually you have a sub mono through utility. That is terrible. Not because sub being in mono is bad, but because if you have a sub that is wide and then you put it through like a utility that makes it completely mono, you're just making it worse. So any detail that you had that was stereo, you're losing. Any of the potential phase cancellation you would have, you're just gonna bake it in. You don't even have to play it through one speaker. You just hear it in stereo anyways. Don't ever do that. Don't have a stereo sound, like stereo sub, and then put it in mono, because it's going to sound terrible and you're going to have this where it sounds like it's fading in and out. I kind of thought that you were doing that, but I don't think you actually did. But if you do that, like legitimately, there's no point in you having a stereo sub if you're just going to make it mono. Like just have a sub bass that's one voice. There's nothing else on it, just a regular sine wave, and that's it. That's all you gotta do. You don't have to put utility on it. You guys don't realize when you high pass things, or like cut the low end side of your song, you are not fixing the issue of your bass should be mono. I hate that advice so much because it's so blanket and umbrella. You just hear that and you're like, oh, I gotta put a side EQ on here and cut out the low end so there's no phase cancellation. But if you have wideness in your low end, it's just you're just summing it up and baking it into your song. You're not fixing any phase cancellation at all. It's so stupid, man. It's very simple, but I put the mono before and process it afterwards for the patch. What? It's very simple. I put mono before and process it afterwards for the patch. I don't even really know what you're saying. Are you saying you... What? I'm so confused. Dude, just follow my instructions. Have a sine wave. Make sure it's only one voice, no unison, and just leave it. And that's your bass. Boom. No unison, no stereo, nothing. Just leave it like that. That's all you gotta do. If you want stereo width in your bass, like some kind of respace or something, just make another patch. Make another patch and then high pass that one so that your main bass doesn't get destroyed. So do like that. Boom. Anyways, overall, it just sounds unfinished. But hopefully that kind of pushes you in a better direction. I'm saying is the patch itself isn't wide. Well, it doesn't have to be if you're making the entire thing mono. Like you're getting some kind of phase cancellation somewhere. It's not coming out of nowhere. If you're summing everything to mono in the patch, it doesn't matter. It's still the same effect. Just have one voice. Okay, we'll move on. Thank you for submitting. And if you're still asking questions, I can still respond. But we're gonna move on from this. We got Murray. You are welcome. Yes, lots of submissions. It's been 2 hours, man. vocals.
Tell me what you're feeling now. Can't love you if I don't know how.
You're gonna give it to an engineer?
Yes, I hear your words. They're flying out of your mouth. But babe, I need actions now, 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 now.
Bro, how much are you spending on an engineer? You submit on my Patreon. It's a free submission. Just join as a free member.
In the space between your heartbeats,
50 euro?
I wanna hear the words that you keep.
Bro, actually, you're talking like I'm gonna, like do solicit services, man.
Just let me in, let me in. Tell me how, where, and when. Babe, I'll do anything, anything. I don't wanna lose you. I just want the truth. I'm tired of feeling so blue. Baby, this is cool, baby, this is cool. I don't wanna lose you. I just want the truth. I'm tired of feeling so blue. Baby, this is cool, baby, this is cool, baby, this is cool, baby, this is cool, 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 cool.
I'll fix it real good.
Show me under your skin how you're feeling now. I gotta love you if I don't know how. It's never on now. It's never on now. Show me under your skin how you're feeling now. I gotta love you if I don't know how. It's never on now. It's never on now.
Nice. That was like a chill, low-key song. What feedback on sound design?
Can't love you if I
My main feedback for sound design, you're kind of going for like this tech thing.
don't know how.
The thing that I heard in your basses is I hear like very obvious filtering, like sweeping of the frequencies. And it sounds like your bass, you have a low pass and it's just being filtered down, you know, with an envelope, whatever. But the resonance is really high. And it's sweeping down. When that happens, you are shifting frequencies down. If you ever had like a bandpass or something and you like whip it back and forth really fast, you'll hear like low end or high end resonates really loud. That's just how phase works. Like it can stack over time, and then you have like some kind of feedback that happens from it. And that is kind of happening with your bass. If you want to still have like a resonant part of your sound that kind of sounds like it's, you know, more vowely, like resonance, obviously, you should apply a envelope on the resonance too. So if you're something like Serum or whatever plugin, I guess, modulate the resonance too. So it goes from like whatever resonance you have set at to 0. So that way it's not resonant at the low frequencies where it really matters.
Yes, I hear your words. They're
These synths, these are pretty cool synths, and I think they do fit, but they're really flat. And I think just adding another layer of filtering on top would do you wonders. Like I'm thinking of just maybe just a bandpass, just sweeping down like over time. Maybe a phaser too.
I need actions now.
Your basses also sound pretty mono, and I don't think that's necessarily like a bad thing, but it just takes away like the impact and energy that your bass could have. Think of a lot of like tech house people. They make their drops pretty wide. They add that wideness somehow, and there's like a bunch of different ways you can add wideness. Chorus, reverb, even delay sometimes. You're doing a little bit where you're adding like these little tricks where you pan synths left and right, which is very good. Very good job on that. I think that's like a really good way to open up your bass. But on your main sound, you can also add some level of width, maybe not like as wide as your other sounds, but just a little bit in your like low mids to mids. That can add a lot. And my favorite way of doing that is with chorus actually. So if you have some way to filter the chorus to only affect the mids, go for it. It'll sound great. And or have some light reverb that fades in and out. So you could route your bass to a bus, and that bus could have just full wet reverb, high pass it to whatever you feel is comfortable, and then volume automate it up and down as you please. And that's called like reverb throws. So it just creates instant width.
I wanna hear the words that you keep. I don't want to.
These sounds are pretty cool.
Show me under your skin how you feeling now. I gotta love you.
So the reason why I was talking about you hiring an engineer for this, I'm gonna be completely blunt, bro. Getting an engineer is super overrated these days, especially for EDM. Hiring an engineer should only really be for like if you're doing a lot of live recording. Like if you're a band that like live records drums, live records guitar, is taking several takes to record vocals and stuff like that, you're gonna want an engineer there to balance things and make sure everything's recorded right, and you have enough information that can be used in the track. And just for more technical things like getting your overhead mics lined up correctly, balancing multiple vocal takes. Like if you have a vocal stacks, the engineers are going to do a good job balancing everything out. But if you're not doing a lot of live recording of instruments, especially like big instruments, like lots and lots, I still think it's not necessary to have an engineer at all. Like a lot of mixing and mastering is really just the producer now. And even what you have here, man, like no joke, this thing you sent me is better mixed than a good handful of producers that send me stuff. A lot of producers make the mistake of making it too loud and it sounds like it's just distorting. You did a minimal job and it doesn't sound bad. Like this, I don't think an engineer could really make this that much better, honestly. I think the engineer, all he's going to do is he's going to turn a little things up, a little bit of stuff down. He's going to add a compressor on maybe two things, and then fucking slap reverb on the vocal, because that's what every engineer does. They get like some really expensive reverb, they put it on a vocal and call it a day. Dude, it really is just like, I'm not even kidding, it's a limiter on the master. That's like all you need for most mixing things. I think you should start investing, just learning mixing, or for yourself, just to save money, because it's honestly really, it's just a big scam. Unless you're like really tight up for time and can't do it, still, just learn it, man. I mix while I produce, so it's just kind of baked into my production now. Just consider it, man. Just consider learning. It's not that hard, and if you avoid making the new mistakes, then you can get a really good mix without really trying at all. Like I said, like a limiter is really all you need nowadays. But yeah, good stuff overall. Just want to have that little talk about like hiring engineers. I think it's really overrated, and a lot of them don't even make it sound that much better. I would be curious to hear what it sounds like after. Because like someone else said, I think I could do a good job just mixing. But I haven't mixed for a while, so I don't exactly know. All right, next up, we've got Bassett Mose, and that is not there. Nice. Dude, not even kidding. The reverbs they put on are like several $100 reverbs. The reverb that they put on are like simulated reverbs of old shit, like spring reverbs or something. Like those are, it just sucks. Like you don't need to spend hundreds of dollars for some reverb plugin that emulates a shitty reverb that was in the 90s. Like, hello? I never understand that. Like, people always go for this vintage shit. It doesn't sound that good, and they spend hundreds of dollars on it. Like, you hear all the time, like, what's the guy's name on YouTube? White Sea Audio? I don't know if you guys ever watched that guy, but he's like a mixing nerd. He's he's like the science YouTubers, but for music, and he just reviews every new mixing module and new plugins here and there. And it's not like a bad YouTuber at all, but he like obsesses over emulators, like amp emulators, reverb emulators, compressor emulators of like old compressors, the LA6, whatever. And they just like, this compressor brings really nice warmth, and it really lets the drums pop and make them sound really crispy. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? It's a compressor. It doesn't make things more warm. Like, what? But they do have their work cut out for them. I can't knock on them too much because they can tell differences in frequencies that I can barely tell. But they can't be that good, man. I don't think emulators are that fucking good. That's just my own personal opinion. I think there's so many better compressors out there that do a more job being transparent. You sent it again? Okay, let me look. The URL copy paste strikes again. Amp emulators, sure, you have a case for that because amps are kind of hard to make digitally anyways. I feel like ratings would be pretty bad and polarizing. Dude, I've heard some zeros, okay. 1 out of 10, bro, I've heard some fucking zeros, and I know people would be really pissed if I said that to them. You would see a tweet like a week from now of me getting canceled for being really toxic. So I don't want to make people feel bad if they have a bad song, and I don't want to overly praise someone with a really good song. Just take my feedback and be a better musician, bro. Yeah, it would be really fucking. Dude, when I first started doing feedback, I was way harsher than I was right now. Like you guys are the end of my mean guy arc, my not nice guy. I would legit call your song shit, and I would just say like, stop making music at this point if you can't get it in 2 years. Like that's how toxic I was. But I've chilled out more because, you know, people get really upset. I'm more what they would say constructive. Holy bass. Bro, Code got a lot of shit on Twitter for calling Whole Next Down shit. Dude, High key, I agree. I do not like Cole's mixdowns. Okay. Now put that on Twitter and add him. Do it now! I'm just kidding. Don't do that. I don't want to get in trouble. I'm scared. He was looking canceled. I don't think they're like the worst thing. But I don't know, they're just not good.
CP time. I just wanna dance on CP time. How many of them did I leave behind? How many times did I make them know? Why they wanna disrupt, kill my flow? How many times did I switch time zone? But the LD will always be home. Rubbing in the downtown bass, starting down as these sounds come in.
The little perks.
Hello, free souls go only where the love is.
Not sure this part. This part's pretty cool. I like this.
Swings, mood swings, mood swings, mood swings, mood swings.
It just needs like instrumentation.
Swings, mood swings, mood swings, mood swings, mood swings, mood swings. Oh, you scandalous, what did she find? Nothing but a text and a boy she might blow it all up on CP time. Cause you went out like the way he described. How many times did it all occur? If you got
What?
choose her, passers by when I see the pot stirred and the mood gets swung in reverse. Cause I've been all around town, bass, studying drown as these sounds come in. I've been on a high, low, free souls go only where the love is. But I've been all around
Nice.
town, bass, studying
Do you
drown.
want feedback on sound design and song structure?
I've been all around town, bass, studying drown as these sounds come in.
Bro, this sub right here is way too fucking loud and distorted.
I've been on a high, low, free souls go only where the love is.
I don't hate that sound.
But I've been having mood swings, mood swings, mood swings, mood.
I just think it's kind of boring and uninspired. Like, there's a billion songs that have this UK dub, like, thing going on. It just sounds kind of boring because it's literally just a saw wave. It's just that. That's just a saw wave. And you low pass it and distort it. Yeah, there's your sound. Add something that's more unique, man.
Mood swings, mood swings, mood swings, mood swings. Don't be scared of us, can't be defined. Plans never show up on CP time. I just wanna dance on
Yeah, what the what? Why? What?
CP time. How many of them did I leave behind?
A ref?
How many times did I make them know? Why they wanna disrupt, kill my flow? How many times did I switch time zone? But the LD will always be home. Rubbing in the downtown bass, studying drown as
They could do some cool stuff with this part, like this little yoinky sploinky perks going up and down. Just add some cool instruments and fill the space, and then it'll be fine.
swings, mood swings, mood swings, mood swings, mood swings, mood swings, mood swings.
I think this bass is too loud for this like build up. You need to fade it in more.
Oh, you scandalous, what did she find? Nothing but a text and a boy she might blow it all up on CP time. Cause you went out like the way he described. How many times did it all occur?
It's a pretty easy way to make this bass sound more interesting is just like add some peak, like get a peak filter and just fucking sweep it up and down, like oh ow 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 oh you know what I'm saying?
Then you better choose her. Passers by and drown as these sounds come in.
O.
I've been on a high, low, free souls go only where the love is.
Yeah, not much else to say about this. It's pretty basic. You guys don't know, but that's I get that from some video of like a Japanese robot that's like that can speak, and he's just going over all the vowels in Japan, and it's like modeled after like a human nose or something, like the nasal cavity. Dylan Brady, I don't know who that is. Like, look it up. It's like a little robot. It just does that. It's funny as shit. What are you talking about? Of course you do, Kaisel. Of course you do, bro. What the fuck? Let's roll it back. Dying computer music. There's your sub movement, Basty.
Physical reality.
Cheerio. Very computer-esque. What does this have to do with the iconic MLP figure Fluttershy? Dude, we need to study this. Question of MLP and fucking dubstep, man. As far as I know, Living Tombstone hasn't been part of any of this shit for a long time. Ooh. I don't even know where to begin. Like, there's just so much I could say. This intro, I'm like in a fucking abandoned hospital and I'm gonna die soon type vibes. Like glitchy computer. Okay, this part, bro, this is too harsh. It's just fucking loud. Has it gotta be that loud, man? Okay. Dude, I like your sounds, man. You're a funny sound guy. I get it. But normal people don't like just sound design flex spam. That's what I would call this, is sound design flex spam. You don't have an established phrasing or rhythm that someone can recall. You don't have a motif. You don't have call and response. There's nothing going for you in the song. Genuinely. This song is just, it's like a sample pack, man. Like a sample pack demo. Look at these cool sounds I made. You can take my cool sounds and make a song with the sounds I made. That's what it sounds like. There's no structure. There's nothing. This entire song sounds like you made a 1-bar loop and then you looped it and then added like some variations over on top. It's not progressing anywhere. So you're like shooting yourself in the foot with your sound design too, because the sound design is very chaotic. Like there's no definitive like note playing per se, or like sustain or anything. Like it's just kind of crispy sounds. And like I said, I like the sounds. The sounds are cool, but they're not being played in a context that matters or gives the illusion of any rhythm or phrase or anything. Like they just seriously have nothing here. I know you wanted feedback on mixing, mastering, sound design, but it's just too messy, man. Your drop is all over the place. Your mixing is pretty good though. I like your mixing. Basically said add more harmonics and more movement. I think they're okay. I feel like your movement could be better though. Yeah, sure. But dude, this part has the most character. Like I can feel the rhythm is like burnt, but that's like it. Dude, that's like it. That's what I'm saying. You made like one bar of a sound and then repeated it. Mastering isn't bad at all. It's pretty good. Dude, but your songwriting needs a lot of work. It's like it's just no progression. You need to work on it so bad. Like I don't feel anything when you're playing this. It sounds so empty. It sounds like you just rendered out drums and the bass as stems and you forgot everything else. No cap. But yeah, thank you for submitting, and yeah, I hope that helps.
I have heard it somewhere before. What is that?
Got one from Basty.
Can you hear this?
What would you like to hear?
Ooh.
What is that?
Let's do it again.
Ooh.
All right, listen to it again and concentrate.
I don't understand.
Oh, let me show you.
Can you hear this?
What would you like to hear?
That rim shot. That rim shot is nasty.
What is that?
dude. Basty, you are nasty. You should make your alias that. Place the B with an N. Jeez. Bro, this is sick. I don't have anything to say about this. This is really good. Good shit, bro. You just want to deviate? Nice, man. Bro, I remember when Deviate blew up. That's crazy. Dude, this part right here, just so nutty. Damn, dude. Fucking good as shit. Good job, dude. Thank you for submitting. Now we're on to Marcus. Appreciate you, Basty.
Solamente haciendo.
Oh, got some house. Made it tic-tac instead of TikTok.
Tengo la mente haciendo.
What a vibe change, I know.
Tengo la mente haciendo tic tac, tic tac.
What are you saying thank you for, bro? What did I do? Dude. Man, if this wasn't repetitive as fuck, I don't know what would be. This is insanely repetitive, man. It's... Ugh. Listen, I know like house is kind of like that style of repetitive stuff, but man, like it's just the same synth. Like literally point out where that synth isn't playing. Can you point it out? That dun 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 dun. It's playing the entire fucking song. Oh, right here. And it goes right back into it. You need contrast. You need space. You can't have the same synth playing over literally the entire fucking song. And this vocal got really annoying really fast. And that's because you're not just limiting it to the drop. You're also putting it in the areas that aren't the drop. And so it's like, oh my gosh, this woman's in my ear saying TikTok again. Or tic-tac. Have some space. And yes, of course, make the second drop different in some way. It shouldn't just be a copy paste, obviously. But you need to take away some elements and replace with others. Like, I would not mind if you had a section here where it was just a kick in the bass for like 4 bars. Like, that would be fine. And then like it goes into a bigger section. Also, your synths, like they're not evolving. Excuse me. Your synths aren't evolving at all. Your synths are just the same tone, the same pitch, the same harmonics. It's just all the same. You should have some way of making it sound a little bit different, at least. Like maybe choose a different shape sine wave or something. A different oscillator shape. There's so much you can do. Like replace instruments with other things. This is just insanely repetitive and I don't know. Also, your kick is really boomy and not in a good way. Like your kick is overpowering and really muddy. You can probably turn their kick a little bit and let your other instruments have some room. Yeah, it's not like the worst. It's just so repetitive. I don't know how anyone could really sit through this, honestly. But then again, it's a house song. So I guess I'm not versed enough to how repetitive house music is. Maybe it's the same thing in like rhythm. It's just fucking same shit over and over again. But nonetheless, I hope I had something that could help you. So thank you for submitting. And yeah. And this is the last one of the day. So after this one, we will be finished. So guys, check out my Patreon. I have fun lessons and videos for you guys. And you can be a member and submit your stream for your song early. This is one of the longer streams where it's almost 3 hours now. So check it out. Official Sly. Fuck, man, I'm scared. Got the official guy here. Oh, R&B and soul. Wait, I'm kind of interested now.
I wanna be the one to call you my own, but I saw right through the lies you thought you sold. I'm on my own, I'm on my own, I'm on my own.
Okay.
Reaching for the stars, the skies it goes.
Ooh, nice fill.
I wanna be the one to call you my own, but I saw right through the lies you thought you sold. I'm on my own, I'm on my own, I'm on my own. We were reaching for the stars, the skies it go.
You should DS that vocal.
The whispers of the
Yeah, that S, the S's in your voice are there's too much.
in my head when I'm alone. It's not true.
I like the
You're being
percussion in this.
I can't cater to a heart that's made of stone.
And the fills are nice.
Wanna be the
You
one,
have some strings popping out, bro.
but I saw right through the lies you thought you sold. I'm on my own, I'm on my own, I'm on my own. We were reaching for the stars, the skies that go.
Moments got to me.
The mic quality on this part is not that great. Also needs a de-esser. Alright. I think I kind of get the idea. So one thing I might have overlooked is the possibility that these are loops. So I was going to give feedback on some of the instruments that you have here, but I don't know if you wrote them yourself. So that would kind of make things hard. But if you did write them yourself, the chord progression needs variation. This is basically the same thing I said to the last guy. It needs variation. You can't have the same repeating chords over and over. Add some flavor. Like you're making R&B. R&B's known for having flavorful jazz chords, like dominant seconds, and a lot of notes are just like out of key sometimes, but they have leading tones, leading voices in there, and it makes it feel full. So incorporate something like that to make it not so repetitive. The biggest issues are your recordings. I think recording is okay. I feel like there's a mic quality issue, but you can't do much else about that. Like it is what it is, you know? So I don't know what could help you there. Best trick on your skateboard? I can do a shove it. But I didn't break my arm doing a shove it. I broke my arm hitting a stick, bro. More dangerous.
The whispers are stuck up in my head when I'm alone. But I saw right through the lies you thought you saw.
Yeah, your voice is just kind of low quality. So in the future, if you're gonna be doing more recordings, just invest in a better microphone, and find a really damp area where you're like surrounded by like thick foam. A lot of people use their closet because they put like a blanket over their head, and that like dampens the environment and echoes and stuff. But yeah, just get better at recording. I can't really give you mixing advice on that though. What I can is your DS. DS, all that is a multiband compressor that targets your S's in the voice, and it's like specialized to where like it's made to not be overly insane, but you do need a lot of de-essing. I think the females' recordings are a lot worse, honestly. You should set your reverb to duck when you're actually singing, so the vocals don't sound so washed. You also need to bus your vocals for yourself and the female singing, and compress them because they are pretty inconsistent when you start stacking voices on top of each other. So find make a bus for the stacks, like the vocal stacks part, and the main voice that is coming through the mix, have that be in its own bus to be processed separately. Also feel like you might be high passing them, but I'm not sure. But for mixing stuff that you asked for, that's pretty much it. So yeah, thank you for submitting, bro. Good shit. And that will wrap it up, bro. Stuff. All right. Well, thank you guys for coming. And like I said earlier, check out my Patreon stuff. I have sample packs and videos and tutorials and all that fun stuff. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Probably I'm gonna be away from home, so you guys gonna deal with laptop me on my silly setup. So yeah, thank you guys.